Number one, posting your work. That's an obvious one, right? Like, yes, of course you need to post your work, but how should you be going about this? I have a saying, and it's closed mouths don't get fed. Okay, so if you have your camera and you're not making things consistently, you're not posting your work, they're never going to find you. I think when people get into videography, they're thinking that, hey, I need to be shooting for the Lakers. I need to be shooting for some of the top basketball teams, top football teams. Let's be realistic here. You're just starting out. You're not going to go shoot for the Lakers right away. You're going to have to start small and local. You have to use what you have at your disposal. So I've been teaching sports videographers for these last 4 years, and wherever they're at in the country, wherever they're at in the world, they need to start at what they have access to. So this might be your cousin's 8U soccer team. This might be a local kids club that has a flag football team. Whatever it is, we need to practice following the ball. We need to practice getting our shots in focus. We need to practice framing up and having good composition. Everything else is going to fall into place once you do it for an extended period of time. The principles of shooting a small high school football game are pretty much the same of shooting the NFL. The same thing goes for high school basketball game, shooting the Lakers. It's very similar. The game is still being played the exact same. I think a great thing when you're first starting out is a free to fee. And what I mean by that is if you don't have anything on your portfolio, no one's going to pay you to do something that you've never done before, right? I'm not a fan of doing tons of free work, but I think when you're first starting out, your first 1, 2, 3 shoots, until you have a portfolio and something to show for it, it's going to be difficult to say, hey, I want to get paid for this. They're going to be like, well, what have you done before? And be like, nothing. I haven't done anything. So if we go do these 1, 2, 3 shoots and we build rapport with the people that we're trying to work with, they're going to say, you know what? When you say, hey, I want to get paid to do this, this is what I want to do for you guys on a consistent basis. They're going to say, you know what? We love the things that you're making for us. That makes sense. Put together a presentation and show it to our boss or show it to someone higher up. If you're trying to get a job at any of these teams, your work needs to look and feel like the brand that you're trying to get a job at. Okay, so if I was making stuff and trying to get a job for the Lakers and I look at their brand is very clean, very aesthetic. It is not flashy. It is not all these crazy effects. So if your work looked like that, when you go apply for a job like that, they're going to be like, this isn't really what we're looking for. We're looking for someone that has more of a storytelling ability and does stuff like this. Think about the work that you're currently doing and the work that they're posting. And if it doesn't align, how can you get content that looks and feels like the brands that you want to work with? Where to look for these jobs? Teamworks Online is where all the sports teams post their jobs. So whether it's college, whether it's professional, they post them on Teamworks Online. The other place to be looking is LinkedIn. And the third place, arguably one of the most important places, is Twitter. That's why I'm telling you to follow these sports creatives on Twitter, because they're posting when their teams have openings and they're posting and saying, hey, this is important. This is what we're looking for in this job. You can also see these creative styles and say, okay, does my work fit the look of this brand? And number 3, one of the most important things is your reel. Let's take a peek at the reel that I used to get my job at the Lakers, and we'll go through it. We'll critique it. I'll talk to you about things that I like about it and things that I don't like about it. You want your first shot to be impactful. You want your last shot to be impactful. You want to leave them with a lasting representation of something that you stood for in this reel, something that you're proud of. I think many people, when they're making their reel, they make them way too long. They're like 2, 3, 4 minutes. No one's watching that. Make it a good minute and a half, absolute maximum. People are busy. They want to be wowed, and make it your absolute best piece of content. Don't have shots in there like that shot of the guy just pulling down a lat pull down machine. That shot doesn't fit. It makes absolutely no sense. I don't know why I put it in there. I want you to look at your reel and be very harsh on yourself and say, is every shot in here purposeful? Why do I have this here? Am I just putting this effect in because I thought it would look cool? Or is there a reason for this effect? For example, one effect that I really liked in that video was the guy running, and I masked out the ref and it cuts to this other guy running. 2 really solid shots, and the mask makes sense. It's not like it's put there for no reason. So make sure that you're using effects that are actually telling a story and helping you progress your video on to the next shot, not just, yeah, let me just throw this crazy transition on here because I think it feels right and I don't have a good shot. The other thing is, it doesn't matter what camera this stuff shot on, and it also doesn't matter if you were paid to do it. A lot of those things in that reel were spec pieces, or like things that I was traveling and I was just filming stuff, and I actually ended up getting shots that I felt were at a high enough caliber to put into my reel. That was all shot on a Sony a6400, a camera that to many of you might have that camera and you'd be like, oh, I can make something like that. I don't have this crazy red camera. I have a Sony a6400. You can make high quality things if you shoot in good light and you use good composition and good framing. You can take your videos to a whole nother level if you just put in the simple things into your pieces of content. I hope you all liked this video. I hope you can take something from today and put it directly into the things that you're doing, because I want you to go get paid and I want you to get a full-time job in sports. As always, you can DM me on IG with any questions and hit that subscribe button for more. Peace.